Hi guys, welcome to Driving TV. Here's another video. Super excited again today because in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys the top 20 questions that you will see on your driver's permit test. These questions are the most common ones, the ones that if you study, for sure you will pass and you will be ready to ace that test first try. I'm going to be making a series of videos. So this is gonna be part one, and I'm gonna make at least three or four parts, 20 questions each, giving you guys the very best top questions that you will see in your permanent test. So stay tuned and let's get started right away.
When you are going to park a manual or synchronous transmission car on an uphill slope, you must first place the parking brake and the gearbox in first gear. When parking a vehicle uphill on the right side of a street where there is no curb or sidewalk, you must place the front wheels pointing to the right. When you're going to park a manual or synchronous transmission car on a downhill slope, you must first place the parking brake on the gearbox in reverse. When you're about to park in front of a parking lot, you must ensure that your car should be centered within the space with no part of it extending into the travel lane. Any driver, bicyclist, or pedestrian approaching a highway or railroad crossing must stop within 50 feet of the nearest railroad rail when the warning devices are flashing. When backing out of a parking lot, always check behind your vehicle before getting in. Children or small objects cannot be seen from the driver's seat. Place your right arm behind the passenger seat and turn so you can see directly out the rear window and back up slowly. Of the traffic signs that appear, which of them indicates that drivers may lose control if you leave the pavement? B would be the correct answer, as you can see. The law prohibits passing a vehicle stopped at a crosswalk to allow the pedestrian to cross the street. If you approach from behind, you should assume that a pedestrian is crossing even though you cannot see him or her. Always stop before turning right on a red light and look both ways to see if there are pedestrians in the crosswalk. When you arrive at an intersection and see a pedestrian with a white cane with the intention of crossing, you must stop completely and give way. Take special care when approaching because the pedestrian is probably blind. Florida law requires that you give bicyclists a minimum of 3 feet space and use caution, slow down when riding alongside or passing them. If you're driving on a narrow 2-lane road with no curb and a cyclist passes in the middle of your lane, you should Treat the cyclist as if he were a slow vehicle. Do not share the lane with the bicyclist or cyclist. If you want to pass a motorcycle, always keep in mind that you should never attempt to share a lane with a motorcycle. The motorcyclist has the right to occupy the entire lane. It is illegal for any driver to pass a school bus when it displays a stop signal. You should know. On a two-way road, all drivers going in either direction must stop behind a stopped school bus that is picking up or dropping off children. You must remain stopped until the stop sign is removed and all children are off the street. If you're driving on a highway or street and hear emergency vehicle sirens, you should stop immediately at the nearest edge of the road and stop until the emergency vehicle has passed. Do not block intersections. You're driving on a two-lane highway behind a large vehicle that you are trying to pass. To make sure you can see clearly, you should stay a safe distance behind the vehicle that you want to pass. You are driving behind a large truck or bus and approaching an intersection. The vehicle flashes signals to turn right. You should know that the large vehicle opens to the left to be able to turn right. At what times should you use the front low beams? Between dusk and dawn. What does this traffic sign tell you? Warning. Under what circumstances should you change your vehicle's high beams to low beams when in use? Within 500 feet of an approaching vehicle or within 300 feet of a following vehicle. You're driving at night on a highway with two opposite lanes and a car approaches you with its headlights on high, preventing you from seeing. You should look to the right edge of the road to avoid being blinded by the car's headlights. You are driving and suddenly it starts to rain. What is the first thing that you should do? Turn on the windshield, wipers, and turn on the front low beams. Why are the roads more slippery during heavy rain when it hasn't rained in a while? Due to the accumulation of oil on the roads, it makes them more slippery. Hydroplaning occurs when your car slides on a thin layer of water between the tires and the road, causing you to lose control. If your brakes get wet after a heavy rain, the vehicle may drift to one side or the other. If this happens, reduce speed and gently press the brake pedal until the brakes work again. This sign means two-way traffic. This sign means do not turn left, so you cannot turn left. What is the meaning of this sign? Yield. This sign means do not enter a road or ramp where this sign is displayed. Of the traffic signs that appear below, which of them indicates that a U-turn is not prohibited? That would be A. Check the meaning of this signal. It means sharp turn to the right. If you're driving on a main road with the intention of turning right and the light is green, you should turn your turn signal to the right and stay in the rightmost lane. Slow down and observe if there are any signs prohibiting you from the spin. Pay special attention to the pedestrians and cyclists. If you have an accident for which you are at fault and you do not have insurance on your car, the law will require you to pay for any damage caused before the item is returned to you, privilege to drive again. If a driver illegally contains a permit to park in a handicapped parking lot, your parked car could be picked up by a tow truck and your permit confiscated. You will be fined $500 or up to 6 months in prison. Traffic signs painted red indicate stop, do not enter, wrong way, and yield. When another driver indicates with his turn signals that he wants to change into your lane, slow down your vehicle to give space to the other driver who wants to merge. If you're driving on a multi-lane road and need to go slower than normal traffic, you must use the right lane. Parallel parking is when the vehicle is aligned with another parked vehicle. A blue curb means parking for disabled people with a sign or special plates. When roads are slippery, you should avoid making fast turns, doubling distance, and avoiding sudden stops. Three of the situations in which it is extremely important to check the traffic behind you is before backing up, changing lanes, or suddenly slowing down. It is against the law to enter a cross street or intersection when you cannot completely cross the intersection before the traffic light turns red. You should increase the following distance between your vehicle and the vehicle in front of you when you are being followed closely by another vehicle.